Hello everyone, I am Reverend Gartlyn Chance, pastor of the Holistic Transformation Ministries at Louis. This is a branch work of the Calvary Road Deliverance Tabernacle under the umbrella of the Pentecostal Assemblies of the West Indies. I am also a special education teacher, having taught for 34 years of my life. Bridging the Gaps will be aired on the Tobago Inspirational Network every Saturday at 8 p.m. The program is expected to keep you at the edge of your seat. Join us as we deal with issues relating to the stages of early childhood to adolescence. Good evening, viewers. Welcome to another episode of Bridging the Gap. Indeed, it is a pleasure to have you be part of this program with us this evening again. As you know, our main objective is to bridge the gap between generations. It is important that we connect with our generations if we are to fulfill God's purpose. We don't want to have people saying things like, I can't deal with the youths again. They're too rude. I prefer not to be with them or in their presence. And have the youths saying, that old lady will be there. I don't want to be with her. We need to change that. We need to bridge the gap. So it's a pleasure for me to have with me this evening a young man, an intelligent young man. His name is Richard Allen. Richard, it's a pleasure to have you with me this evening on set. How do you feel?
Well, I feel excited.
Okay, it's nice that you are happy to be here with me. Okay, tell us something about yourself. What school do you attend?
I attend the St. Patrick's Anglican Primary School.
Okay, and who are your parents?
My parents are Victoria Charles and Richard Allen.
Okay, and I'm sure that Victoria, we call her Vicky, who is usually down at, where does she work again, where everybody meets her?
Bella Cosmetics.
At Bella Cosmetics. Pretty Vicky. Vicky must be proud to have a son like you. And you said your father's name is Richard, so you are Richard Jr. because daddy named you after himself. Okay? Now, Richard, today we want to bridge the gap. When the viewers look at us, they could see a vast difference between our ages. When they look at you, they wouldn't be able to tell that you are how old?
I am 11 years old.
All right, Richard is 11 years old, and I'm not going to say how old I am. You be the judge, but there is a large gap between us, and we are about to bridge the gap. Okay, Richard, you said you're a student of St. Patrick's Anglican School. I want you to, and have you been there from the infant department?
Yes, I have.
Okay, and now you are in?
Standard 5.
Standard 5. Viewers, take a look at him. He's a Standard 5 child. Tell me something about your experience throughout your primary school.
Well, it felt like something new. I didn't get to experience so much anxiety and pressure during the time preparing for the exam. Okay, so you jumped straight to your exam.
I want you to tell me though, before we get there, tell me how it was from the infant. Just give me a little summary of it. From you went in, so that we would see from stage to stage what happened by the time you got to the changes that took place by the time you got to Standard 5. So just give me a little bit of it.
Well, first when I was in first year, I had my aunt who was a teacher at that school. Okay. To look after me and make sure I didn't get into any trouble. Okay. Then I went up to standard. I went up to second year. Then standard 1 to straight up to standard 5.
Was it fun?
Yes, I enjoyed every bit of it.
Okay, tell me of some of the things that you enjoyed at school.
Mostly playing with my friends and learning new things.
All right. So you enjoyed, you said mostly. So you are telling us that one of the things that you enjoyed as a child is playing. Therefore, playing is an important aspect of a child's life. Okay?
Yes.
And then you were talking about standard 5. What happened when you got to standard 5?
Well, it kind of changed.
Okay.
I had a little bit more pressure and I was just waiting for the exam to finish.
You mean you were anxious? You
Yes.
couldn't wait for it to be finished? Tell me why.
Because a lot of pressure was added in terms of work. Like a normal day in school would be, we come to school, most of the teachers from the lower classes would tell us to pick up a book and revise. And then when we get into assembly, we say our prayers, then come back inside. And normally on a Tuesday morning, Miss Archie, a former teacher, would come to help us in creative writing. And for the rest of the day, we would be drilling work like maths and language.
So you're saying that it changed in that you had to do a lot more work.
Yes.
And you used the word pressure. So it was kind of what? It was a lot.
Yeah.
Compared to your previous years at school. So did you have as much time to be with your friends outside and having some free play and that kind of thing?
Not much.
Okay. So how do you feel, or how did you feel at the time about the change, the pressure as you called it?
Well, I felt kind of normal because since in standard 4, my aunt, who was a standard 5 teacher for many years, she always used to help me and take me through the work since standard 4. And I kind of got used to doing all those sorts of things.
Okay, so you were accustomed to working.
Yes.
And we understand. Do you go to church? Let me go back there. Do you go to church?
Yes, every Sunday.
Right. So you are a boy that knows that God loves you. Therefore, you understand the importance of working hard. The Bible speaks about studying to show yourself approved. Okay, Richard? So you understand that in order to be successful at whatever endeavor, you have to work hard.
Yes.
Therefore, you accepted the fact that you were in standard 5 and there was a little bit more pressure.
Yes.
Did you ever get tired of the pressure?
Once.
Okay.
Because at time I was really tired because I normally come home from school and right after I dress and get ready, I have to go by my aunt's house and do work.
Okay, so you mean after school, as soon as you finish school in the afternoon, after a hectic day, you reach home, you just change your clothes and you back to classes?
I get to eat, but sometimes I'll be so much pressure. I just have to go across with my food to eat.
Okay. So how you felt about that?
A lot pressured.
Okay, you keep using that word pressured. It means that there's something about it that you knew that you had to do the work, but there is something about that you probably didn't like too much. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Be honest with me, Richard. So what you felt should have happened instead?
I should have gotten a little more time to relax.
Okay, I understand. So you're telling the your teachers and perhaps your parents out there and your aunt that children need, after studying all day at school, they need a little time to relax, but still do classes? You mean relax between that time?
Yeah.
Okay, so you needed to go home, relax for a while, and then you go to your class.
Yes.
Okay, and that's what caused the pressure, because you didn't have time to relax.
Yes.
But did it ever affect you in any way negatively?
No.
Okay. Because tell me about your grades. Did you maintain very good grades?
Yes. From first year, go straight up to standard 5, I was an A student.
Oh, so you didn't have any, it wasn't too much, well, it was still pressure for you? Yes. What do you think about the children? Was it you alone who had class in the afternoon?
No, me and some of my friends from school.
Okay, and then they would have been, you all would have been at different levels in terms of your performance. So you would be an A student, but not all children are A students.
No.
How do you think this pressure would affect other children who are not A students, as you said you
Well,
are?
Some of them might give up, but
okay.
Some that I might know might keep trying and work hard.
Okay, okay. So they were able to cope?
Yes.
And the children that were in your class during your standard 5 experience, they were able to cope?
Yes.
Tell me something that made it easy for them to cope concerning your teachers. What kind of teachers you had?
I had nice teachers.
Okay.
One of the teachers were actually related to me.
Oh, so you had an advantage.
No.
All right, tell me, go ahead.
Most of the teachers knew my aunt because she's the principal of our school.
Okay.
Yeah. So I basically was, like, it was like this. Anytime I gave trouble, they would call my aunt.
So you made sure that you behaved yourself?
Yes.
Despite the pressure? Okay. I want you to tell me, Richard, what would you like to be when you grow up?
I would like to be a businessman.
And what caused you to have that choice, to have made that choice?
Well, most of the people in my family, they are teachers or principals or something like that.
Okay.
I wanted to be a little bit different.
All right. You don't want to be... All right. So there must be some variety. Variety is the spice of life. So you want to be a little bit different. So what are your feelings concerning a businessman? Do you think that after you move out of... Well, viewers, as you heard, Richard is a standard 5 child. He has just completed the secondary entrance assessment. Okay? He looks small, but he is big enough. He was big enough to do that. So when you move into secondary school, you want to be a businessman. Do you think that you will do any more studies after secondary school to be a businessman?
Yes.
You think it's necessary?
Yes.
Tell me why.
First of all, you need to learn language arts to know how to talk to your customers. Creative writing to know how to write letters or receipts or something like that. Okay. And math to calculate your bills and other, to know how much you have to pay your employees.
Okay, excellent. I feel like giving you a high five for that. Come on, Richard. Excellent, excellent. So you understand that in order for you to be a successful businessman, you have to work hard. So despite at times the little pressure that you may have, you still have to work hard. Okay? Now, what activities are you involved in apart from just doing the academics?
I like to play football, and at times my aunt signs me up to sing, dance, and read in my church, St. Francis Anglican.
Okay, so you are involved, despite the fact that you're an A student, you are involved in a number of activities. And perhaps, do you think that these activities helped you to be an A student in any way?
Actually, yes, because reading in church exposes me to new words in creative writing.
Okay. Okay. How did those activities that you spoke about football?
Yes.
What was the other one?
Singing, dancing, and reading.
During your preparation for C, Were you able to do these things as much as you did before?
Yes.
Okay, so you continue to do these things. So what changes took place in your life, apart from having to do your work at school and classes in the evening? What changes took place in your life during that preparation period, especially as it grew closer to the exam?
Well, my phone got taken away so I could focus more on work and, well, I basically had to study more and even more classes than before. Like on a Saturday, I would have classes by my aunt, and after classes, for the rest of the day, I have to go to St. Nicholas School to do another classes.
Classes again?
Yeah.
So it means that you didn't have that time to spend in your extra activities?
No.
Okay, and how did you feel about that?
I felt a little bit sad.
Especially the one with the phone. Tell me why the phone was so important to you, because we realized today that all the children and the young people, if they don't have a phone, they feel as if they're not living a normal life. Not so? How did you feel about the phone being taken away from you? What was taken from you when mommy or whoever took the phone?
Well, for me, it was sad because my aunt, who died in January, gave me that phone before she died.
Okay, so that phone was like memories.
Yes.
All right. But thank God the preparation for C wasn't an eternal thing.
Nah.
It was just a stage or a phase in your life. And that is one thing that, we are happy about, that in our lives there are different phases. And there are certain things that we have to do at one stage and another stage and another stage, but nothing lasts forever. Okay? You want to be successful in life, you've got to work hard. But as you mentioned, sometimes there is need for a balance. There is need for a balance. Sometimes. I want you to tell me again, how do you feel about, let me call them big people? What are your views concerning big people? What are your feelings about them? And I want you to be honest. Tell me the positives and the negatives concerning big people or adults. How do you feel about them?
Well, most of them that I have met are pretty nice.
Okay. Tell me more.
And, well, I personally don't give trouble and have no back chats or negative thoughts in my mind about adults, because I respect them to the fullest.
Okay, give me a high five for that again. All right. Those are the positives. Now I am trying to push you, okay? All you have concerning adults are positive things. Did your teachers, your aunts, did they rub you the wrong way at any time during that period, preparing in your school, whatever, Is there something that they probably did that you felt, it wasn't fair to me?
No.
Tax your brain a little bit. No?
No.
Okay. Did you ever run away from, you had a class or something and you run away or something?
Well, it had a time that I had classes with my aunt.
Okay.
I literally got fed up and ran home.
So what did you run home and do? What were you doing?
I ran home, and when my aunt called me, I tell one of my siblings to tell her that I was sleeping.
So you were tired. That was one of the days when you needed a rest.
Yes.
Because you couldn't take some of the pressure, although hard work is important. You couldn't take some of the pressure. So what did Auntie do?
Well, the next day, she asked me why I did run away from classes, because she knew I wasn't sleeping. So I didn't lie, and I said, well, Aunt Shine, I was tired.
Okay. And she understood?
Yes.
So sometimes it's important that you express with discipline though. You express to the adults how you really feel. You were really tired because you had been working, and that is something that young people and even adults need to understand, that there are times when our children and the younger ones, we are in a place of authority, and sometimes they are afraid to speak their minds to us. Now, I'm not talking about being disrespectful or anything like that, but there are times when they need to share their feelings with us. They need to share their experiences with us so that, we will understand each other better if we are to bridge the gap. Auntie Charlene did understand. Not so? And she didn't have to scold you or hit you a little thing because she felt that she understood that you were tired. Right? Yes. And that is one of the things that you have to understand throughout your school life, even when you go into secondary school. There are some things that you need to express. Okay? Your feelings, you need to express them. Not being insolent, or being rude or anything, but you need to express yourself. How do you feel about going into, now before I go there, I want us to come to terms with something. You're here today. Had it been 2 weeks ago, you would not have been here because you would have been in class. So C is over.
Thank God.
And you're happy. You seem to be very happy that C is over. So it means that you're more what? You're more relieved.
Yes.
You are more relaxed. And you are waiting for
results.
The results. What school do you want to go to?
Bishops.
Okay. It's your first choice.
Yes.
And what if you don't get your first choice?
Well, it would be okay because it doesn't matter what school you go to. It depends on what you do in that school.
Okay, Richard. Very good. Very mature young man. So if you were to get your second choice, although you may be a little bit disappointed, you will go there and do your best. Because there's children who go to Scarborough Secondary School and they do their best, and we have lawyers, we have doctors, we have teachers, we have businessmen, and they went to all these schools. Even Speyside High is a very good school. People went to Roxborough Secondary School. So you're not going to set up yourself to be depressed if you don't get your first choice. Yes. But you have a choice as to where you want to go, and you would have worked hard enough to get your first choice. Now, how has your life changed since C examination has passed?
Well, I got back my phone and now I could be free and relax all day.
Okay. So you relax all day. What are some of your relaxation techniques? What do you do to relax?
Well, a day I eat breakfast, sleep sometimes, play on my phone, then eat lunch and go back to sleep.
Okay. So do you do any book work or anything? You like reading?
Well, sometimes I read.
Sometimes you read?
Yes.
What type of books do you like?
Fiction and factual books.
Okay. Do you have any message that you could give to children? Or before I ask you that, what are some of the things that you think you should be engaged in after C as you await the results from the examination? What are some of the things that you think school should involve you in? Or your parents at home,
Well, they should carry children on sport. Well, they should engage them in sports.
Okay.
And carry them on a little field trip or something like that.
All right. Do you all have any of that planned in your school?
Yes.
So you're going to be having a wonderful time. As you said, you let down your shoulders. You are free. Eh?
Yeah.
What about the children who are awaiting? Now, you are an A student and you like to read. There are some who are maybe B students, C students, D students, and they prepared for the exam as well. Do you have any message that you could give to them as they await the release of the results of the exam and prepare to enter secondary school?
Well, first of all, don't give up and believe in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't, remember as I said, it doesn't matter what school you go, it just matters what you do at that school.
Okay. And what do you think they should be doing as they prepare to enter into high school? Should it be just play?
No.
Because if they continue to play all the time, they may
forget everything they did.
All right. So what do you think they should do? Tell them what you think they should.
Well, you should revise. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying revise all the time, like when you're preparing for SEA, mm-hmm. but take a little time off for relaxing to study a little bit.
Okay. And perhaps they could engage themselves in reading.
Yes.
There are some books that boys love reading. You know, if you like football, you can find books that have to do with football or football stars. You know, if it's basketball, you could find books, you know. And because as you await the results, you still need to have your brain active. You don't want to forget everything. And then when you go into secondary school, you are starting all over again. So you gave them a very good advice. Okay, Richard?
Yes. Thank you.
I am so pleased with you. Our future is in good hands. Viewers, you have heard it, right? As we bridge the gap, this is what we want to do. We want to hear from our young people. They have a lot that they can share with us. They have knowledge, they're intelligent. All that Richard told us today could help us as parents, as teachers, as caregivers to make their lives better, to make our relationship better as we connect. We have to remember that we are the archers and they are the arrows. So even as they grow, we ought to be there to guide them. Richard, you seem to have a lot of persons around you who would guide you as you enter secondary school, so that you would do your best. You will make sure that your fullest potential is reached. Not so?
Yes.
Okay. We thank you. Again, rather than I thank you. Come give me a hug on set, man. You did so well. Thank you, Richard. Thank you for being my guest. I must say that you did well. I want to congratulate your mommy and your daddy for doing a good work. And I know that you're going to make it in life and you're going to help others as you go along. May God bless you. Well, viewers, we have come to the end of another program. I'm sad sometime when the time is over, but it was good to be in your presence. And this is Gartlyn Arthur Chance again, Reverend Gartlyn Arthur Chance, saying goodbye and see you next week. Hello everyone, I am Reverend Gartlyn Arthur Chance, pastor of the Holistic Transformation Ministries at Louis. This is a branch work of the Calvary Road Deliverance Tabernacle under the umbrella of the Pentecostal Assemblies of the West Indies. I am also a special education teacher, having taught for 34 years of my life. Bridging the Gaps will be aired on the Tobago Inspirational Network every Saturday at 8 p.m. The program is expected to keep you at the edge of your seat. Join us as we deal with issues relating to the stages of early childhood to adolescence.